everybody to Head to Head with Brian Parker. I'm along with my co-host, Mr. Randall Hargrove. How you doing, sir?
Doing well, man. Had a real good weekend.
Oh God, this is one of the best weekends ever.
You ain't lying, bro. Somebody went down with the last second shot. Ain't calling no names, Dookies. But
oh,
that's
you.
payback for Austin Rivers a few years ago.
Well, I was in Atlanta all weekend, so that's where I saw the Super Bowl and that game in particular. And I was around a bunch of people from New York. We were taking a break and stuff, and I was just like, man, we down 12 at halftime, and it's gonna be another one of them games where Duke just manhandling us and everything. Next thing you know, he'll just start coming back. Once they tied it up, I was like, oh my gosh, all they got to do is get one stop. And
Yeah.
I figured it was going to end on the free throw line because Duke was already in the bonus, and Carolina still had like 5 fouls to give. And I thought, okay, if they try to drive it strong to the basket, Duke is going to overreact and foul somebody. When I saw that kick out and that rainbow moon ball they threw up there, I was like, oh my God. I jumped up out my chair, started running around the whole place. They're like, what's wrong? And I'm like, yo, I tried to tell them, but they saw it. They had to see it on the TV and they were like, oh damn. So yeah. And then they stormed the court with .4 to go and they had to clear everybody off. And
Yeah, which I thought was ridiculous because you can't shoot a shot in .3. Just
yeah,
call the game. Come on.
exactly. Because all it took was somebody to get their fingernails on the end of the game officially. I guess they got to do it officially, right? But it's like in reality there was no way,
Mhm.
especially when he had to do it from up under the other basket. It wasn't even like it was at the half court. You know, I mean, I've seen crazier things happen, but no,
Not that.
not that. But the thing that I did get pissed off a little bit about that game in the fact that Carolina was number 14, Duke was number 4. That should have affected their ranking. They're still number 4. I don't like that.
Yeah.
Carolina only moved up 3 spots. They number 11 now. Number 14 beat the number 14. Considered an upset, even though it's at home. And Duke don't drop at all. Not even 5 to 6. I figured they'd be like 7 or 8. I know some other teams lost and everything and moved up to third and fourth. Second and third above. Third above Duke. First and second stayed the same, but third team I think moved up from 8. But Duke should have slid down. I just think
But you know what? It'll all come out in the wash less than a month from now. It's about
it
to be.
will. Well, you
Yep.
know what? You know what? If they don't fall and they end up in that top 4, then that just means they're gonna get an overall number 1 seed, and then somebody else is gonna sit there and take them down.
Hmm.
That's gonna happen. So, yeah, Jermaine, I knew you were gonna say that. I knew you was gonna say that. Got to look at the quality of wins and losses. I know that's gonna be their excuse. I ain't looking at it from that standpoint. I'm looking at it from a Tar Heel fan to be like, look, y'all let us take that game from y'all. You need to lose your ranking. But I get what you're saying, Jermaine. I do agree with you. Um, they've been pretty on point. Conference play is a little bit different though. A lot of times, it's like when you're in the NFL, you know you can be beating all these other teams, and you start playing in your division. Anything can happen. Ask the Ravens when they play the Steelers. Ask the Steelers when they play the Browns. It happens. We don't know why. Ask the Panthers when they play the damn Saints, but beat up on Dallas, Detroit, and LA. You know, who can explain this?
Nobody.
It's crazy. Crazy. Well, anyways, thanks everybody for tuning in. Whether you're watching us live on the replay, we do thank you. Please make sure that you like, share, and subscribe. Um, we are closing out the NFL season and thus closing out season 6. That is correct. We have wrapped up 6 seasons which would put us well over probably about 190 shows that we've done with just with head to head sports, and we will be back probably middle of August to start up season 7. Before we look towards season 7, just to put a fine touch on some things, we did have the Super Bowl last night, if that's what you want to call it. The Seattle Seahawks did manhandle the New England Patriots 29-13. Grant, I'll get your feelings on this, but you know this game was similarly eerie to Philadelphia and Kansas City to me, in the respect that you took a quarterback that basically um, you do whatever he wants. Patrick Mahomes manipulate the pocket, extend plays, just do all these crazy things. And then the Philadelphia defense comes into the Super Bowl and they rattle him, they rush him, they sack him, they intercept him. The defense was relentless. They did not let Patrick Mahomes get comfortable, and their defense ended up being the story of that game. The game last night, eerily similar in that Drake May, my God. I mean, I'm just glad he lived. He was under duress from the first snap on. I mean, and the crazy thing was they were getting a lot of pressure just off stunts and rushing forward. I mean, every now and then they would bring a blitz, an extra man down and stuff like that. But a lot of the plays where he was really getting sacked and stuff, it was just front four. And then you couldn't negate the front four because you couldn't run the ball. So you had no way of being able to get positive yards. By the time they said they tried to run the ball, they would get stuffed in the backfield. So you take a 1st and 10 and turn it to a 2nd and 12, 2nd and 13. Now you're behind the sticks. And it was just crazy. But it was, but I thought that they had a chance because even though they played terrible the first half, they were only down 9-0. I was like, you know what? Because I was telling a friend of mine yesterday, I said, well, hey, at least they can go in the locker room and say, hey, look, as bad as we've played, we only down 9. We can go out. We hadn't let them in the end zone at that point. We can still make a game out of this. But, a lot of times teams come out of the second half. You don't know who's coming out of that locker room. But same team that went in for Seattle came right back out and just kept on going, kept their foot on the gas. I thought it was just amazing what they were able to do against the Patriots. That offensive line of the Patriots just got exposed.
Oh, big time. That
Pure
left side of the Patriots offense, they gave up 12 pressures last night.
trash.
12. We're just talking one side of the line now.
One side.
12 pressures. So yeah, Drake was like running for his freaking life all day on game. I mean, there's only so much he could do.
Yeah, he ended up leading the team in rushing. And a lot of those weren't designed runs. That was let me get the F up out of here. I wish he would have started to do that earlier because I feel like that might have loosened the defense up a little bit. He was trying to be calm and just stay in the pocket and do all those things. But I really think that had he at least tried to run a little bit earlier, now I ain't saying it would have worked, but it would have at least kept that defense from being overly aggressive. Because if you got a quarterback that you know is going to take off and run, you got to make sure you trust your eyes to see what you're seeing. If you overplay that play, you're going to end up being. Jermaine says, "I've seen this happen." This is a good question, Jermaine. Jermaine says, "How do you make it to the Super Bowl without a good offensive line?"
Well, they had a cupcake schedule. They had one of the easiest schedules in the NFL, it turns out.
Mm-hmm.
I know that's not their fault, but
Mm-hmm.
and I say it all the time that schedule this, schedule that. It doesn't really matter until you get to the playoffs. But when you get into the playoffs with a bad offensive line and a light schedule, then you get exposed by better teams because there are better teams that's in the playoffs that didn't have that easy schedule. They're the real deal.
Mhm.
And the Patriots, once they got to the playoffs, I mean, it looked like a completely different Drake May.
Yeah. But,
Even in the the divisional game, conference championships, and right on up to the Super Bowl, he wasn't the same guy, man.
I'll go even a step further too, Jermaine, because you got to remember the purpose of, and I know you know this, the purpose of an offensive line. Well, there's a lot of purposes, but one of the biggest purposes is for your offensive line to give your quarterback enough time to get the ball out of his hands to get it down to a receiver. If your offensive line isn't that good, and I've seen teams do it before. I saw Tom Brady do it plenty of times with a bad offensive line. I seen Aaron Rodgers do well with a bad offensive line. You know why? He was able to extend plays with his legs, with rollouts and things. I ain't talking about the latest version of Aaron Rodgers. I'm talking about with Green Bay. He would extend plays with his legs. He would get the ball out quickly. And when I say get the ball out quickly, it's not even necessarily that he would make a completion and get it to a receiver. He would get it out of harm's way. If he couldn't find somebody like 1, 2, 3, can't find nobody, he was throwing it into the dirt or throwing it out of bounds somewhere. The way you negate having a bad offensive line is either A, you get the ball out of your hands quickly, a la Bryce Young, you needed to get the balls out of your hand quickly when he didn't have a decent enough line to give him time. The second thing is that again, if the quarterback is mobile, that negates how bad the offensive line is a lot of times because if they just sit there and watch everybody else in front of them and don't keep their eyes on the quarterback, that's when the quarterback can take off and run. I've seen Kyler Murray do it plenty of times when his offensive line wasn't good and they can extend play. Now, did that take them to a Super Bowl? Those teams that I named, no. But that's how you negate a lot of that stuff. The other thing too is that when Drake May had the opportunities to get the ball down the field during the regular season, he was one of the most accurate quarterbacks. He could get it down the field to the guy, get him, put it right there in the basket. He would sit there and get them while they're in stride and things like that. Whether it was Mac Hollins, whether it was Booty, whether it was Stephon Diggs or Hunter Henry, he could get the ball out to them. But in this Super Bowl, Seattle, when Seattle only has to rush 4, that means that now they can commit the other 7 players to receivers, especially when they know that you're in pass situations. Now you don't have even if they double somebody or anything like that. Now it's harder for him to get to somebody because there's nobody open, and that was the problem. He ain't have time to throw the ball. They weren't getting open, and you're only rushing 4. So that puts a lot of then that's why I said that, Ran. If your receivers are covered, if your line can't block for you, then you got to run. I don't care if it's like you do a drop back and you see something in the middle and you run up to the middle for 3-4 yards. Do that a couple of times so that the defense will respect the fact that you'll run. And then they may have to drop an extra person back to spy, which removes that extra person out of the defense. But as long as they know they can get home with 4, you're not putting them in pressure. And then what happens is in your mind, you think that 4 is coming, and then they'll call a blitz. You'll think 4 is coming. Now you think the blitz is coming. So now you think you got time to throw it. Then one of them drop in coverage, and you don't have nowhere to throw it. You get a pick 6. Go the other way. They kept getting in his head at that point because his clock was sped up. Then when he did have time, he couldn't be as accurate anymore because he couldn't settle in, get his feet right, and everything else. And then he would throw some passes that I saw him throw that during the regular season I saw him make with high amount of regularity. He just couldn't do it. They did the same thing to Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes made it to the Super Bowl with no damn receivers. How many times did Patrick Mahomes make it to the Super Bowl and ain't had no receivers because they kept dropping the damn ball? So you can make it to the Super Bowl and not be a perfectly complete team. Trust me, I've seen it. Um, but to Rand's earlier point too is they stacked on a whole lot of wins early and made it where um, they had one of the better records in the AFC. But it was a lot. It was a lot of that stuff, Rand. I think.
Yeah, it's all about, comfort. I mean, he was comfortable during the regular season.
Mhm.
Once it came to down the stretch with better pass rushers, better defenses, they made him uncomfortable. He
Yep.
was definitely uncomfortable last night. And the passing game is all about timing. We all know this. So if you get the quarterback out of his timing, get receivers out of their routes, when they run that 5 yard dig and turn back around,
Mm-hmm.
ain't no ball coming or the quarterback's on his ass.
Already.
What are you supposed to do?
Right. I mean, if you run your route, and we ain't talking about uh the person running the 9 or something like that going wide out. Somebody just running like you said a 5 yard dig, and by the time he turned around, his quarterback on the ground. Hell, he ain't had no time to get it to you. Jermaine gave me some palpitations here. All I hear is the Panthers are going next year. Who the hell are you hearing this from? They need to
Going to
stop.
the Super Bowl?
Yeah, that's how I took it. Um, maybe on Madden, but that's about it.
They buy tickets like everybody else.
Right, I could probably name 8 teams before the Panthers that I could see going that far. Wait, is it 8? Or at least going to the NFC Championship game. Teams I could see going to the NFC Championship games before the Panthers in the NFC.
Yeah,
49ers, Seahawks, Rams, Giants,
Green Bay.
Green Bay, Chicago. Um, nobody else in the South. I ain't worried about Tampa or Atlanta or New Orleans. I ain't worried about Washington, Dallas. I don't even know about Philadelphia. Jermaine said, "You said that you don't need a complete team to make it. Therefore, the incomplete Panthers are next." Okay, I didn't say every incomplete team had a chance. I just said we've seen evidence of incomplete teams going. But
Yeah.
even when they were incomplete, they were able to take advantage of their strengths. And a lot of times, the way coaching should work, and I believe Seattle did a great job of this in the Super Bowl, was they took away the thing that the Patriots did best. They knew their defense was going to be formidable. I mean, Gonzalez, um, outside of the results of the game, was playing his ass off. Don't get it twisted. Gonzalez was out there doing his thing. Um, but because the offense didn't give them enough help, they just wore down that defense. But a lot of coaches figure out what your superpower is, and they take that away for you and ask you um, to beat us a different way, and you have to figure that out. So they figured out what made the Patriots really successful, and they took that away, which was being able to move the ball, um, quarterback being comfortable either getting the ball out of his hands quickly or making quick decisions to run with the ball, and uh, keep that defense honest. Jermaine says if T Mac can get offensive rookie of the year without a quarterback, then the Panthers can win a ring without one.
Well, man, you stretching like Stretch Armstrong, bro.
Look, bro.
I can't follow
Doing,
you.
yeah, yeah. I hear you. I know you messing with me though, but I guess ain't no way in the world. It could be a combination of things. Um, when your rookie wide receiver is as good and talented as he is, here's what I would say, Jermaine. If the quarterback had been even better, Chet would have ran away with the award. It wouldn't even been close if you had had a better quarterback. He did that with a quarterback that wasn't that good. That just tells you how good Tet is.
Yep.
that he made do with the quarterback he had. So, you know, sometimes it really comes down to that. Sometimes, but what and the reason that we've knocked on Bryce is it should be the other way around. The quarterback should be the force multiplier, not the receiver should be the force multiplier of the quarterback. That's crazy. So probably the only reason Bryce Young looked as good as he did is because Tet played as good as he did, which is crazy. But I honestly believe that. So, but yeah, Rand, any other comments on Super Bowl observations?
Yeah, I mean you win it with defense, man, and just showed and prove again that Seattle defense was hell. Um, couldn't run the ball, couldn't pass the ball, receivers couldn't get any separation, and it was like a slow, methodical beatdown.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I believe that the Seattle Seahawks knew they had them from the first quarter,
Yeah.
so they weren't going to do anything to put the ball in harm's way. They hope Sam go out there and make just the throws that you could see. Don't force anything.
Mm-hmm.
Don't put anything in the double coverage. Take care of the ball, please. We're comfortable with just kicking field goals, and that's the when they were up, I believe 6-0. It was 3rd and 12, and
Mm-hmm.
um, they were in the red zone to try to score a touchdown. They just handed the ball off. I thought that was curious as hell, but you know, they only picked up a few yards and they kicked a field goal and went up 9-0. But
Mm-hmm.
I think they really, really knew that they were just not going to do anything dumb to
Yep.
put New England back into the game because they knew they had them. They relied on their defense, and that defense turned out to be exactly what we thought it would be. Um, they dominated all game long. Um, and it's kind of funny and weird because like, if you look at the stats, um, you see that my guy had 295 yards passing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And wasn't bad. I think it was something like 27 out of 43 as far as completion percentage
27
or
to
something like
43.
that.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
So you look at that 27, 43, 295, and he had a touchdown pass, I do believe. Like, oh, he played a pretty good game, but it was just the turnovers that were killer. And
Yeah.
we got a lot of that yardage when the game was already out of hands.
Turnovers, and he lost the fumble because when he was about to go down to the ground, the ball got punched out. So he had 3
Hmm.
turnovers right there.
Yep, one got ran back all the way to the for a touchdown. So
Yep. Exactly. No, you're absolutely right. I mean, it really came down to ball control. Look, when your defense is playing good and you're running the ball, Walker had 135 yards on 27 carries, so they were committed to the run. Because what happens when you can't score and the other team is um, happy to just keep taking field goals off of you, you're eating up the clock. So even though you are down 9-0, 12-0, and all that stuff, what's happening is the clock is still moving, and that becomes your worst enemy
yeah,
because then you have to start figuring, well, if each series that they are playing is taking 6-7 minutes off the clock, that means we're only going to average how many possessions in the quarter. If our defense can't make them go 3 and out and they keep getting timely first downs, then our opportunities to score are going to become more and more limited. Even though we're only down 9, I mean, damn, we still got to score twice. Do we still have 2 possessions left? Then you
yeah,
start to get a little bit um anxious, and then you start doing stuff. You throwing in. I did see Drake May throwing the triple coverage. I don't know how dude caught the ball, but he did
uh-huh.
in one of those, and I just like that was even though the throw worked to me, that was more of a throw of desperation at that point.
Yeah. And just on the other side of the football, you look at what Sam Darnold did. I mean, you watch that whole game. He never made any kind of wild throw.
Nope.
Um, he just very conservative. I'm gonna take what they're giving me, and even if it's not a first down, I'm gonna take that.
Only thing I saw from him that he left a couple of throws out there. The
Mhm.
biggest one is when he let Gonzalez catch back up to Njigba. If he had let that ball out a little bit earlier, Njigba would have got that ball in the end zone probably.
Yeah.
But I mean,
But it
that's
was like you thought that the Patriots might have a chance when it was 9-0.
yep,
Maybe they still had a shot when it's 12-0. But as soon as they scored that first touchdown, I'm talking about Seattle, and they had 19, and he's like, "Ah, that's the game.
yep.
That's the game."
I said the same thing. At
Yep.
that point, I was like, you know what? Because points were at a premium at that point.
Mm-hmm.
You continuing to let them get three was one thing, but once they knew that they could go ahead and get in that end zone on you,
It was a wrap.
good night, Irene. Yep.
Yep. That's when the defense pinned their ears back. They're no longer worried about the run. And we coming to get you.
Mhm.
We coming to get you now because we know you can't afford to run the ball no more.
Yep. You don't have time.
You don't have time.
You don't wasted one whole half. Now it's crunch time. You can't run the ball because it takes too long.
Mm-hmm.
You know, again, at some point, you ain't just playing against the other team, you playing against the clock because you only got so many timeouts to stop the ball. And, if your defense isn't stopping them from converting third downs into first downs, then they're gonna be happy with just ramming it down your throat, running the ball, eating up the clock, and forcing you to stop.
So let me ask you, B, what's your outlook for New England like moving forward, and your outlook for Seattle moving forward? I know we talked a little bit about this with other teams,
Yeah,
like who's going to be the come up of next year and who might be sliding
yeah.
back down. But what's your outlook for these two?
New England, I hope, doesn't go the route of Washington did, where they peaked too early a year ago, and then, of course, then the quarterback got hurt a lot. But then they had a total inverse of a season. New England spent the last two seasons before this one winning less than 5 games each year. Um, Hopefully, the Super Bowl was a great way for them to be able to look themselves in the mirror and say that we need to address some serious issues. I still don't like their receiver combos.
Nope.
Um,
That's where I
they
was going with all of this.
they gotta address receiver, um, and they may be able to get some of that in the draft.
They better. I mean, it's a deep receiver draft, so.
It is. Mhm.
But that's exactly where I was going with this. I mean, you got Mac Hollins. I mean, that's just about average as it gets, man. You relying on that. I mean, you got to rely on some
Yes,
better
and
speed
so
than that.
when you say that, like how when we start out every season and we'll name skill positions and things like that, and how many times have we sat there and I'll drop some names and I'll say, do any of those names scare you?
Exactly.
And if I said Mac Hollins, what is it, Kevin or Kenneth Booty, uh, and then Stephon Diggs, does that trio really scare you?
No, and Diggs, I guess, is their best, but Diggs is not the same Diggs that was in Buffalo, man.
No,
Nope.
no, not at all. I mean, he's there and he is useful, but he's not a guy. Stephon Diggs is more of a name that people remember as being something. It reminds me, Stephon Diggs ain't no more number one for the Patriots as DJ Moore is for the Bears.
You know what that reminds me of? Another Stephon Gilmore. And
Yes,
everybody lives off of that name. Oh, he's
Gilly.
so dangerous.
Hmm.
Dude ain't the Stephon Gilmore role anymore.
And yeah, they keep thinking that he gonna be able to give you flashes. I don't need flashes, bro. I need 17 games of consistency.
Yeah,
Damn them flashes, because flashes don't always show up when you need them to.
yeah,
I
but it's
I,
in the
I,
name
I
at
need
this
you.
point.
Yeah, because then you're a liability. No, they need to really really overhaul their wide receiver. I mean, multiple receivers. They do
I
need to.
agree.
They need to shore up their line. They need to really really look at their running backs too. I know Henderson was a rookie, but really see if Ramadre is going to be that 1-2 combination that they need, or try something else. Um, and then, as much as Josh McDaniels is supposed to be this offensive mind and everything, and we know we'll talk about the NFL honors because he won Assistant Coach of the Year. Um, I need to see some more creativity out of him.
Yeah, I was going there with you too. I mean, He won the honors, yeah, but I'm like looking at that Super Bowl, like really, like where's
Why?
Will?
Yeah.
I just
I
saw
mean,
no,
damn.
I saw no adjustment.
I mean, he picked up a pint of vanilla ice cream at Ben and Jerry's, didn't he?
Yeah, I
God
saw
damn.
zero adjustments. I saw zero creativity. It's just like you just took a beating and walked away, man.
Exactly.
So
I mean, you had a whole half to look at what you did and say, okay, that didn't work. Let's try something different. At least give that defense something different to look at, fight on, and go, oh damn, they didn't show us that in the first half. Let's try this, let's try that. They tried nothing different. They just said, we're gonna continue to do what we do, and eventually it's gonna probably just break through for us. Wrong.
wrong.
That's just dumb.
So yeah, man, they have to revamp that line with some better protection, no doubt about it. They got to get some at least two more receivers with some speed and separation
Hmm.
because they don't have that right now. And they also do need to find out who's going to be their premier back and who's going to be that quality backup. Um, so they got some things to sort out. Do they make it back to winning the East again next year? I don't know. I don't know.
Well,
I'm not
the
being bet
thing,
on it.
the thing is that is Buffalo going to take a step back with a new coach? What the hell is going on in Miami? No, because they're going to have a new coach. Um, and then there's the Jets.
Kind of like the Browns.
So I almost would say I'd give them a slight edge right now over Buffalo as being the preseason AFC East favorite, almost by damn default,
By
because
default.
the other three, who the hell knows right now? Not only did they have coaching issues, but they actually had a lot of issues team wise too. With Miami, what are they going to do with Tyreek? What are they going to do with Tua? Um, those kind of things. When you got the Jets, dude fired Aaron Glenn fired all of his coaches and everything, and now he's bringing in other people and stuff. And this is going to be a whole lot of pressure on him. I feel like he's got a short leash. Well, he black. He got a short leash. Um, he ain't gonna have that long. Gerard Mayo. I can go on and on, but anyway. But this is gonna be that year that if he doesn't make some serious movement in New York, oh, he gone. So
Yeah, he out of there.
yeah, I mean, fair or not, it's clear you can't be in that market and produce like that when and to me, it may just be that the fan base and the expectations are unrealistic, but you knew that when you took that damn job. So I can only feel so bad for you on that. And in Buffalo, if they don't address the issues that really had more to do with Sean McDermott getting fired than Sean McDermott, then it's going to get worse before it gets better.
They also have a
Talking
receiver
about that
problem.
door closing, that door is closed for now.
Yeah. Yeah, that Super Bowl window's gone, man. I do believe that.
Oh yeah, absolutely. So that's what I'm saying. I think New England's in the best position. Now they can't just sit on their hands and just say, Brian Parker said by default we'll win the AFC East. Well, what you need to remember is you won the East this time because, again, as you alluded to, their schedule was friendly and they were able to stack some wins. You ain't sneaking up on nobody next year.
No.
And Seattle just showed everybody how to get your ass.
You're right. So you better make some changes.
You got to. Because if you come out there with that same offense, now everybody knows how to attack it. Same thing that happened to the Eagles. Thought they could just run it back. How'd that work out? You can't do that. Everybody got tape on you now. Every time you play, they got tape on you now. That's why a lot of times rookies kind of recoil a little bit after the first year. Now they got a full season on you.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them can kind of rise up a little bit, and some of them they take a little bit of a adjustment period to kind of get it back. So for them, it's going to be interesting. For Seattle, it's going to be hard for them to maintain. The defense is going to be solid. I'm interested to really see what they end up doing with Sam Darnold. as far as any kind of extensions and things like that. JSN has proven that he is a man. um, they got some good pieces, but they need to continue to do better. Why? Because that NFC West ain't no mother effing joke. Get caught slipping if you want to. San Francisco just licking their chops.
Oh yeah, big time.
Yeah, and when they
Yeah.
get all their players back next year, oh my God, watch out for San Francisco. Anthony, what's going on, buddy? He said Seattle exposed New England. Will Campbell having small arms ain't helping.
Yes, Will Campbell got ran over and ran by
Oh,
and
oh
ran
fella,
through.
oh fella. Even when he
Oh
dug
my
in, they
God.
still did the bull rush on him and just knocked him over like he was a thin sheet of paper.
They
Oh,
treated that dude like he was a fourth round, fifth round pick or something, man. Dang, man.
yeah, you better get in that weight room, bruh.
I'm saying.
You better get in there because if you can't stop that, see, and then again, that's what's going to make you a liability because then teams are going to know, you know what? They're going to probably have to start sending help with him over there. And now you're going to have a real mess because if he can't hold his own and you got to have somebody help, now you're really putting your line at a disadvantage. So that
Yeah,
could be the answer.
he got exposed just like Rimmers did for Carolina in the Broncos
Absolutely.
Super Bowl 10 years
Yep.
ago. Exposed it in the exact same manner. And you're right about that too, because you put that on film in the Super Bowl, then this next season rolls around and everybody's going to attack you the exact same way.
And your
So,
quarterback
yeah,
is going to get killed.
Campbell, you need to figure some things out because,
Because
yes,
if they doing that and on his blind side, that's how balls get stripped or his hand is back and he didn't go forward and that was called a fumble. I've seen those plays too many times because you sat there and lost containment like that. So yeah, you don't want to be a liability like that. That's just crazy. So absolutely, Anthony, good point on that. But Seattle, do they have a chance of getting back to the championship game? Absolutely, they do. But
they do.
that division ain't gonna be easy. So
Mm-mm.
they just need to address their needs, and they should be okay. So
Yeah.
we'll see what they do. You know, and what we talked about too is that the NFL season doesn't really sleep. We are literally a month away before the NFL tampering period, and that's right before free agency opens up. So all that means is that teams can talk to people, agents and stuff like that about hey, wanting a player. Nothing can become official and signed until the free agency period actually starts.
Yeah, this off season is one of the off seasons I'm really looking forward to because I want to see how the Steelers are going to address their needs with multiple draft picks that they got coming. And I also want to see what the Panthers are going to do to improve their team. They took a good, huge step up this year. So how do they take another step up for this upcoming year? I'll be paying attention to what they do in free agency and definitely what they do in their draft too. So it's going to be super interesting, man.
Yeah, as far as your Steelers, yeah, they've got the 21st overall pick. And according to AI, it says that their key needs are wide receiver, yes,
Facts.
cornerback, yes,
Facts.
and quarterback.
Quarterback every year, but also safety. We have a need at safety. We got to fill that as well.
Yeah, you've got. Damn, do you really have that many draft picks?
We do. We have like 12 draft picks,
Well,
and I hope we keep them all. Don't trade
sweet
up for nothing.
God Almighty. Yeah, you've got one first round, one second round, three thirds, two fourths, a fifth, two sixths, and two sevenths.
Yeah, so that's a boatload, man. You
Damn.
can move your team dramatically like that. I mean, 12 new players, that's basically a whole new roster. So it's an influx of young talent that we could get. And on top of that, we are sitting top 10 as far as cap money, too, free space and cap. So the Steelers could really, really do some damage if they make their moves right. And they do have a history of making good moves. So we shall see. I'm excited about it.
So is this first round pick going to be a defensive player?
I don't think so. I think they're gonna go.
Receiver?
I think they're gonna go receiver, but it is a deep receiver draft pool. But then you got several other teams that are hungry for receivers too. So,
I was gonna say
um,
because the first time you draft in the second round, the only time is with the 53rd pick.
yeah, and I feel you could get a good receiver at 53 because it's just that deep this year. But then again, you don't want to take any chances on that. So who knows?
But if you get a receiver at 53, the only difference is getting a receiver at 53 instead of 21 is second round picks don't have a 5th-year option.
Yeah,
That's really only your only difference. If that receiver comes out in the first round and they play their ass off after the 3rd year, you're gonna have to look to extend their contract so that they don't play it out and you get a better deal. Because the way receiver salaries are going, which is why Dallas looks like they're going to be franchise tagging George Pickens. They're going to franchise tag him, which is going to put him at around $28 million, which is not going to make him happy at all because the market is going to demand him to be closer to 35.
that's gonna make me very happy because if he's upset, that makes me very happy.
But Dallas, and not to get out to Pittsburgh, but I was just thinking about this. But Dallas is in a bad spot. I don't feel bad for him, but in a bad spot because they can't pay George Pickens $35 million because they only paid CeeDee Lamb like 33 or 34. So if you pay your number 2 receiver more than your number 1 receiver,
Hey,
so
that's
that's
that
gonna be
Jerry
a problem.
mathematics, though. That's them geriatrics.
So they kind of effed themselves on that.
When you want to be the GM and the owner, you get what you freaking get,
I'm gonna be honest
Cowboys
with you. I'm gonna
fans.
be honest with you. One of them got to go. As much as because you can't have a payroll with both of your receivers and your quarterback. Dak is what 60 something million on the cap. Then CD is another 34. That's 94, and then you're gonna throw um what's the name in, and that's gonna put you at about what uh about 116 for
You
3 guys.
start. You're starting to sound like the Cincinnati Bengals, and you're gonna get the Cincinnati Bengals results.
Exactly. That's why I'm like, you know what? I know you like pick, but do you like pick more than CD? But one of them need to move
Yeah,
because you got a lot of value in that. What team would not give you a number 1 and a number 3 for either one of them?
yeah. I would definitely move off of George Pickens. Somebody is gonna want that talent because of the tremendous year that he had last year. Um, get what you could get for him, and that's going to help you build your team. But I don't
Yeah,
care what you do, Dallas. I don't care what you
yeah.
do. I just have fun
It's just one
watching.
of those things where when you're now talking about I even brought them all up just because of the salary of these receivers. What Chase got, Higgins got, what CD got, what Pickens is trying to get, all those kind of things. Now, when you talk about drafting a receiver, you're drafting a position that if they're good in a couple of years, by the time they have their bite at the market, we may be at a $40 million mark. Somebody's going to have to reset the ceiling again when it comes to receiver salaries just because of that. But I think it affects the way GMs look at draft order
Yeah,
for sure. They did the same thing years ago with running backs. They were like, "Oh God, we're over pricing running backs." And then that's when you get the Le'Veon Bell thing.
yeah. I
I
think the
I keep bringing up former Steelers, don't I?
another dude I can't stand.
That was not on purpose, though. But no, the thing. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting. We've got free agency coming up. Uh, a lot of people are going to really, really want to see how active their teams are in free agency to really get a gauge. And a lot of times, sometimes fans will overreact and say, "Man, they ain't do enough. They ain't do enough," not knowing what the overall plan is. Because a lot of times you'll see some teams that just don't do a whole lot in free agency. Other teams get heavily involved. It can be a good or bad thing. Rand, sometimes you end up overpaying for a player because the market is that way, or you end up paying a player more for what they've done than what they potentially can do going forward. So you have to be really, really careful with that. But you also got to have enough veterans on your team to be able to help the young guys be ready, be able to come along. Don't try to put them out there quicker than they're ready to go. So you got to have that balance on your team.
Yeah, it's all about the good balance, man. So, Anthony, I don't know if you're still on and listening. So let's break down your Panthers. Let me see. So looks like the Panthers got
Oh,
one.
Anthony is the Commanders guy.
Oh, he's Commanders. Okay, I
Yeah.
thought he was Panthers.
Uh,
Okay.
oh, and he why are you looking at that? He said the
I'm sorry,
fact.
it was Jermaine.
Oh, Jermaine, yeah.
Yeah.
Anthony said the fact Seattle won big without JSN is crazy. It is. Well, but you know what? JSN is such a big focus, Anthony, is that then Sam Darnold can find other guys that aren't getting the double teams and everything else. So JSN is a good uh I don't want to say decoy, but that's kind of what it can be sometimes when you're that good. We
I
see it
mean,
a lot of times.
if you only need to score 14 points to win the game, then your defense is that outstanding. Hey, you
Yeah,
don't really need JSN.
you don't need to win with him all the time.
No, didn't last night.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
That
Absolutely.
defense was lights out last night.
Man, that defense was crazy. Yeah, the draft orders are going to be crazy. Where did the Panthers draft?
They're like 19, like 2 spots before the Steelers. Panther they definitely, in my eyes, need to get that defensive end. Somebody to pair
Yeah,
on the other side, um, across from Nick Scorton. They didn't have that pressure on the other side this year at all, and Scorton was just a rookie, so he really didn't have a ton of sacks himself. So I think they have to start in the trenches, address that need at defensive end, get the best player available at 19 for that. In the second round, they have a few options. I think they could go like middle linebacker or maybe even add another receiver to that receiving core because they're going to need to do that at some point too. And like I keep saying, it's a deep receiver draft, so might as well get some talent to go across from Tet and put Coker in the middle because we all know that XL is failing at his job.
yeah,
Um, XL is looking more and more like a number 4 possession receiver right about now. So yeah, you better get one of these shifty wide receivers that's coming out of college, um, to make Bryce's job a little easier.
yeah. I was looking at one of these posts up with the Panthers. Um, Strength of schedule 52. Biggest needs: offensive line, edge, linebacker, safety, and wide receiver.
Yeah, I don't get the offensive line. I don't get where they're coming. Oh, sorry. I know exactly where they're coming with that
Mm-hmm.
because I'm thinking that they're good at left tackle. Um, they're no longer good at left tackle. They could potentially have a season-ending injury already.
They got to
Um,
do something because Quandary is going to be out. Now, I was wondering, would they just get a veteran in the free agency, or would you get another young guy there immediately, or would you at least wait a year to see what Icky is going to be able to do?
Yeah, they have a mess, man, at that position. They really do. He picked a really bad time to get hurt for one.
Yeah,
But
but
a
can you
guy
solve
that's
that with a 19th overall draft pick, or would you do better with a vet right there? At least if you borrow a vet for a year or two.
they got a hard decision to make. If they get a draft pick in there, they got somebody to serviceable for the next 4 years or so. But then what do you really do with a Kwanu if
Well, that's what I was going to say. So, if you go with the draft pick, is it possible that you get somebody that currently can play left tackle? If Aquanu comes back fully healthy, can you move him other places on that offensive line? Can he be a guard?
are
Can he
you
be
going to move him? That's the problem. You got Moten that they're satisfied with for sure on the right
Yeah,
tackle spot.
true.
And then you spend a ton of money on your 2 guards. And
Yeah,
they are set for the next couple of years.
that's true.
Um, So again, they just have a difficult situation. I
See,
mean,
now
Ricky
now that
can't
you
play
say that,
center, so
that's why that's why that sounds like that's gonna be a veteran.
hmm
They're gonna have to go spend some money on a vet to shore that
yeah,
up right now.
have a little rental
Can't go
for a year or two.
Yep.
And worst case scenario, you're talking about a 330-pound guy that relies on shiftiness and speed that's just tore up his patella tendon. Um,
Even when he's cleared medically, he ain't gonna be the same right away anyway.
no, no. And yeah, you can't just shoot him inside the guard because, like I was saying, you got two guards that you're already paying big money for.
That's true. Yeah.
Um, it's a difficult decision, man. But yeah, I wouldn't use a draft pick on it. I would get a veteran for sure. But then you start to look at out there in the NFL, the list of free agents, veterans, left tackles. Um, left tackle is such a premium that most teams have their left tackle sold up. So now you're getting somebody that's coming off the bench that's
Looking
got to rely
looking
upon as a
at
starter.
looking at potential free agent offensive tackles. The names that I'm seeing are Cam Robinson, Rasheed Walker, Josh Jones, Chuwoma Okafor, DJ Humphries, Kelvin Beachum.
What strikes you as gold out for those names you just read?
I don't see no gold.
You said I don't see no gold. And you want gold, right? You're protecting your franchise
You gotta have
quarterback.
it because that's your quarterback's blind side.
Exactly. So that's the problem, man. That's the
And
problem
and,
that
and
you run
trust me,
into.
he already has blind sides before that.
Yes,
He got
that is
blind
the
sides
problem.
even when he stand up.
That is the problem that you run into. Yeah. You're
Yeah.
taking somebody that's silver in a position that's gold.
Well, what they may have to do, even if they don't have free agent, they may just have to do it some trades and find somebody. See
Yeah.
if somebody's just willing to get off of somebody uh, that's not even on this list. Um, and then you've got some the top free agents being listed potentially. These are going to be some decent names. Linderbaum, the center for the Ravens, is out going to be out there probably. Trey Hendrickson, Max Crosby. It looks like the Raiders are really done with him.
Yeah, it looks like he's done with the Raiders too. So
Well, that part.
yeah.
Seattle may be losing their cornerback Tariq Woolen. Looks like. Um, and then you've got, of course, George Pickens. Isaiah likely is going to be a free agent.
Yeah, that would be a good free agent pickup for the Panthers for certain.
Good blocking, pass catching tight end.
Yes. I mean, they really don't have that on their roster outside of Sanders, and Sanders is not at the level of a likely. Um, so I would definitely be investigating that.
Mm, 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 mm. They got Mike Evans listed on here, but I can't imagine Evans just not staying with Tampa. So,
Yeah, I can't see that either.
Alec Pierce, I did like him. He did well with Daniel Jones in Indianapolis. And when they moved on from when Daniel Jones got hurt, he was still playing pretty well as a receiver.
Yeah.
He's not bad at all. Jacoby Myers for the Raiders. Cade Otton, tight end for the Bucks. Kenneth Walker for the Seahawks is going to be a free agent. Well, he ain't going nowhere.
Right. They better re-up with him.
Yeah, they should do that in the next day or two. Brees Hall is listed.
That is a definite idea. Brees Hall. I do like Brees Hall. I'm
What's
saying
up?
for the Steelers potential, pick
Oh
him up.
God, yes.
Yeah, for real.
Oh God, he's more of the back that the Steelers were trying to make Jalen Warren and what's his name be?
Gainwell.
Yeah, no, I mean the year before that he
Oh, the
left.
year before. You're talking about Najee Harris. Yeah.
Yeah, Najee. Yeah, I look at Brees as more of that kind of bruiser back.
Yeah, he could catch out the backfield. He's definitely big. He's physical. I mean, yeah, he's got Steeler written all over him, man, for real.
Juwan Jennings is on this list too, from San Francisco.
Hmm.
Wow.
Decent wide receiver.
Hmm. So yeah, between the ones coming in and some that are going to be available in free agency, I see some definite names now. David Njoku, I think you're done, bro. Reed Blankenship from the Eagles.
Hmm.
I think they'll resign him. Cooper DeJean, and those guys back there. Kyle Pitts is on this list. Ain't no way after the year that he had, Atlanta's going to let him go.
Yeah, he finally showed some promise.
Yep. Yeah. All he needed was a quarterback that could get him the ball. Um, but yeah, okay. Well, we got some things to look forward to in free agency, Rand. So that'll be good. Let's end on this note. We did have the NFL honors. We had made our picks. Um, I was I was a little surprised at some things, but I wasn't surprised that Matthew Stafford ended up with the MVP.
Yeah,
He just had a phenomenal year, 37 years old, and then as he accepted the award, he made it clear he's coming back. You think he should come back?
oh yeah, I don't think he's done at all. Well, he had almost 4,800 yards passing. That's crazy.
Insane.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, he's going to be a year older. He'll be 38, and but no signs of slowing down. But like we've alluded to plenty of times before, the drop off can go real fast. But hopefully he holds up next season. Would love to see what him and Devontae Adams can do with another year under their belt. The chemistry that he already has with Puka, two running backs in the backfield. That defense needs to get a little bit better. I mean, they've definitely got some good pieces, but they really need to get a little bit better. We don't doubt what McVay can do with an offense, but we really need to see a little bit more out of the defense.
definitely that. They all need that playing in the West.
What's up,
'Cause,
Robbie?
so, Robbie, yep, Seattle got the jump on them, and San Francisco got the jump on them too.
Hmm. Coach of the year, Mike Vrabel. Any surprise?
Nah, not really.
Yeah, me either. I mean, it could have look. It could have definitely been Chicago coach. Uh,
Hmm.
Liam Cohn could have gotten it. I mean, there were just so many great stories out there. But when you look at again what the Patriots were able to do after having 2 years back to back of being straight garbage, that definitely made sense. Christian McCaffrey came out as the comeback player of the year because he had spent the previous season uh, out injured. And then to come back and have the impact that he did on the team. He was also nominated for Offensive Player of the Year as well as MVP.
Yeah, who else was up for comeback for the year?
Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah, Trevor Lawrence was my pick.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. But yeah, I ain't mad at any of those yet. Um, Offensive Player of the Year, no question, JSN.
Yeah, I knew he'd get that. Well,
What's up, guys? Congrats to us three for finishing tied in prime time. Yeah,
oh wow, you was up there too, B?
yeah, we both had the same record. That we were. I think it put you at 13. It put me at 14, but it was an identical record.
Like 46 and 30, 43 and 36 or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't know how somebody got 55 correct. They had to bet on some stuff that shouldn't have made any sense, and they got it anyway. Because I didn't like, I didn't go like crazy as far as something that wasn't practical. Like I wasn't just picking random crazy stuff, just hoping that everybody else going this way. If I go against that way, then I make up a game on everybody. I ain't do that.
Yeah. And I feel like that's almost what it took to win this year. It was
It
just so
did. You
weird.
you had to basically bet something that was seemingly insane.
Yeah. And then sit back and watch it happen.
And watch it happen and go, and then look like you some kind of prognosticator when your ass just ended up being lucky. But I knew it. You ain't know a damn.
You
You ain't
ain't
know
no Jack Dookie.
there was nothing. Defensive player of the year. I still struggle with this. I understand it was the easiest thing for them to do, but I think that still that's just misguided. They did end up giving it to Myles Garrett.
Yeah. And I didn't really agree with that one. I thought it should have gone to what's his name? Will Anderson. I think he was
Yeah,
up.
oh God, yes. Will
Yeah.
Anderson for Texans
It's
by
just because
far.
he made more impact on the game. But hey,
Hmm.
whatever.
Myles Garrett made an impact on his bonus for getting that record.
Yeah.
He made a financial impact, and good for
Right.
him. We ain't taking that away from him. The trophy is yours, bro. He said 44-36. 44-36. Me, Randall 13, BP 14. Yep. He was 12. You were 13. I was 14. Same record.
Yeah, technically there ain't no 13, 14. It's all to all of us 12.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. That was crazy. Of course, offensive rookie player of the year, Tetarola McMillan.
Well deserved. They should have gave him that.
I'm glad
Definitely.
they did. They came through with that one.
Yeah.
Defensive rookie of the year. I was a little bit surprised, but when I really went back and looked, I could see it. Carson Swessinger, with the Browns linebacker. He didn't get a
Mm-hmm.
lot of shine because the Browns suck. Um, and it's easy to kind of sometimes look past a team when the team is so bad. Um, but as a rookie to be able to come in there, a lot of expectations, especially on a linebacker like that. Um, yeah, he actually did. He actually did have a pretty good season.
Yeah.
Robbie said tiebreakers, man. What tiebreakers?
Ain't no tiebreakers in a pick 'em league.
But
What you
that goes
talking
like
about?
Jermaine at the beginning. Strength of schedule.
Yeah, for real.
Well, you know, there was that one game that went for one team, and I went for another. So the record
And
was
I
the
beat
same.
him by more.
Yeah. Uh, I don't think Yahoo Sports does all of that. So,
No, they just can't put everybody on the same line. That's it.
oh Lord. Um. Oh, they had another one that was called the Moment of the Year, and it was the one that I remember of Caleb Williams. The game-winning Hail Mary touchdown pass to DJ Moore versus the Packers.
Oh, that was sweet. Yeah.
Yeah, that was
That
sweet.
was
That was pretty
sweet.
impressive. Pretty impressive. It wasn't just so much that; it's what took them to get to that. They were down in that game. Wasn't
Yeah.
it 21 to something? The Packers was up on their ass,
Yeah,
and they had
man.
to
It
come
was like,
back and kick back on them.
yeah, it's like something crazy like that with only 7 minutes left in the game.
Yeah,
That was something that was over. Just
yeah. Just keep doing what you were doing, and you're gonna walk out of there.
and they
And
wouldn't
the
even have been
Bears,
in that position to even do that Hail Mary had they not converted like a 4th and 12 or something like that.
that part too. Yep,
Yeah.
that's exactly right. I remember that. So yeah, that ended up being the crescendo, but there was a whole lot of stuff that led up to that. So absolutely, that's a hell of a call in that game. Uh, he said the play before 40. Yep, I remember that too. 40-yard pass for touchdown off his back foot. Going, yeah. Remember he kept backing up, and then he just. I was like,
That was a tremendous throw. That was a tremendous throw.
I said, okay, Caleb.
Yeah.
Well, you can go ahead and keep painting them fingernails, bro. I don't
Yeah,
have no
keep
problem.
painting. Yeah,
Keep
I'm gonna
painting.
stop talking about you.
Just don't wear no midriffs like old Kyler Murray. We'd be all right.
Yes.
If he come out of an OTA like that, then- I'm sorry. The visual, man. It's just the visual. Walter Payton NFL Man of the Year went to the ageless Bobby Wagner.
Okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
There was
we can't talk about this stuff here without mentioning this one fact.
Mhm.
The first Carolina Panther that played for no other team
Mhm.
to make the Hall of Fame. Our own Luke Kuechly.
Oh yeah, man, you must be looking at my lineup. That's on here next.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, Robbie said he can't say he was a bust this year. Talking about Caleb. Nope, can't. I can't say that. I can't do it at all. He definitely. We were just worried because Chicago has basically been eating up and spitting out quarterbacks recently, and basically ending their careers, kind of as if they were in Cleveland. But as you were alluding to, the Pro Football Hall of Fame class of 26, our own Luke Kuechly with the Panthers played 8 seasons, Pro Bowler 7 of them.
Amazing. Amazing.
If he had played a fuller NFL career, oh my God.
Yeah, and I'm glad that's not held against him, man. I really
Me
am.
too. Me
Yeah.
too. I was afraid that was going to hurt him at least first ballot.
Yes.
You know, yeah, I'll get into one in a second where I hear something crazy too. I'm gonna get your take on this. Drew Brees has been listed. Larry Fitzgerald. This one was interesting because I wish I had it ready, and I never thought about it this way. Man, somebody put up how many goddamn quarterbacks he had in his career. You know what? Hold on a second. Let me see what Robbie say. My question about the Hall of Fame is how come? Oh Lord, yeah, we we can talk about that one too.
Yeah. A little bit of a hot take, but hell, he cheated. Period. Cheated.
Oh God. Oh. You know what? Dang it. I had it on the wrong thing. I pulled up the wrong article, but somebody did post this. Come on now. Stop playing. Oh, come on. Lord, let me see. Okay, let me go back in this again. Okay, there we go. All right, so now my laptop is acting stupid. It just booted me out. Okay, here we go. Larry Fitzgerald had 22 quarterbacks in his career. So the whole point behind that is just the fact that he still had to produce with all of these different guys. But it was just crazy about the list when I saw the list of guys, and I was like, it was kind of the thing that I said with Jermaine about Ted and Bryce Young, where the receiver basically ended up being successful in spite of who his quarterback was.
Yeah.
So that was just amazing that he had guys. I mean, he had Kurt Warner, he had Carson Palmer, he had Kyler Murray. You know, he had a lot of different guys, and he was still effective and produced. So, very well, to me, very well deserved for him in that. You also had, oh, where's my list? You had Adam Vinatieri, punter, going to the Hall of Fame, Mr. Clutch.
No, yeah, no. Just no.
Patriots. But he was at Mr. Clutch.
It's not hard to be Mr. Clutch when your clutches are coming from 35 yards. That's all I'll say on that.
Well, that's true. I guess at the time when he was playing, the standard has kind of changed for kickers.
It has.
I mean,
really
the time of a 50-yard field goal impressing you when you started getting guys just doing that on the regular, and then they start kicking damn 60-yarders without any win.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, they call him clutch because he kicked the game-winning field goal against the Raiders in the snow. But I mean, what was that? 20 yards is an extra point, literally. So he kicks the field goal to beat our Panthers in the Super Bowl. That was literally like 33 yards. Come on, what are we talking about? We're not talking about like
it ain't like he
into the wind.
He drove down the field to get him in field goal position.
Yeah, it ain't like he did that either. So
yeah, that's true.
I just can't subscribe to Mr. Clutch. I just can't do it. I mean, I thought Justin Tucker, had he not gone the
Well, I was
Massaji
well,
route.
that's what I was gonna bring up. I mean, if Vinatieri can get in, what would keep Justin Tucker from not getting in other than that?
Yeah, other than being a Mr. Massaji. But had he not done that, I mean, hell yeah, he should get in the Hall of Fame if
Because
Vinatieri can.
because I agree, because in my opinion, if you talk about somebody that's been more clutch, ain't nobody been more clutch than Justin Tucker.
No. Now that's true clutch.
All right, Robbie, get back to work. We'll talk to you, brother. Roger Craig is the last one into that.
I was glad to see him do it too.
Yeah, absolutely. And then they came up with a first time award called Protector of the Year, and that was Joe Thuney, the Bears guard. So they're trying to give some love to some offensive line guys that help protect the quarterback, keep him upright, and everything else. So Joe Thuney is going to be that first inaugural winner of that award.
Yeah, just a little bit on Roger Craig. I was really glad to see him get it because to me, he was that first running back that did it all. Like back in those days, back in the 80s and especially
He
the
was Christian
70s.
McCaffrey before McCaffrey.
Exactly. He was a McCaffrey before McCaffrey. And I'm talking decades before McCaffrey.
Yep.
Because back in those days, everybody used running backs and they called them halfbacks.
Yes, I remember
Running
that.
backs would be the physical guys that would like carry the load, a la Franco Harris, and then the halfback would come in on passing downs and he'd get the passes or he'd do the protection for the third down like Rocky Blyer, man.
Yep.
But Roger Craig was a combination of both, and he did both very, very well. And he did it at a time where there was like hardly any other running back doing those two things. So I was very glad to see him finally get his props, man.
So your opinion of Belichick and who else didn't get it? Kraft.
Yeah. Coincidence. I wonder.
Yeah. Yeah, that was to me easily the Associated Press saying, you know what, Bill? You know, all them times we did a press conference and you would say, well, we sat there and we tried to play the game as best we could. Now it's on the Seattle. That's it.
Yeah.
It just had them dry ass board ass press conferences, and nobody liked his ass. And then you have Spygate and stuff like that. Now, if that's really true, though, how is that going to affect TB12?
Well, TB12 just did what he had to do. He wasn't part of Spygate, right? He wasn't part of like literally sending camera crews to practices, literally sending coaches into the opposing team's locker room to dig out playbooks out of the trash can. This is all stuff that's in Spygate, man. This happened. And even after Bill Belichick was fined and hit, you know, they lost draft picks for Spygate, he turns around and he does it again and gets caught red-handed. Red-handed. So to me, you know, I'm in the minority over this, and I am sore about it because I feel that their cheating directly influenced the Panthers' ability to beat them in the Super Bowl.
Oh, absolutely.
It really did.
Absolutely it
And
did.
they cheated my Steelers out of 2 AFC championships. No doubt about it, 2001 and 2004.
Yeah, because it wasn't just the fact of when they got caught. It was, well, when were they doing it and they didn't get caught?
Yes, they were blatantly caught doing it for years, and Belichick was at the head of that. And, you know, Kraft, he could say what he wants, but he hired Belichick, and they were butt buddies. So,
yeah.
So, you know, maybe he's guilty by association, or maybe he was in on it too. Who knows? But
Yeah,
I can excuse Tom Brady because, you know, Tom Brady ain't at the level where he's able to do those things that are
that wouldn't be his call.
That wouldn't be his call. Now, deflate gate, whatever. I don't care about letting a little air out the football. I mean, we clearly saw it didn't affect him when he went over to Tampa. He was still putting up big numbers.
Exactly.
So, as much as I don't like the Patriots, I've always given Brady his props. But Kraft, Belichick,
kick
You want me
rocks.
to feel sorry for these guys, and I know I'm in the minority because I've heard all of this the takes on ESPN. Oh, it's outrageous that he didn't get in first ballot.
Real,
He
oh
won
Lord.
this, and he's got this winning percentage, and blah blah blah. I ain't got no sympathy for the
You
dude,
know what
man.
though? When you deal with
My
the
grade was egregious.
but listen, when you deal with the AP, they will hold that stuff against you. Look what
Yeah,
they did to Pete Rose. Look at what they did to Barry Bonds.
yeah,
Uh, they will hold stuff against you. Mark
no
Aguirre,
doubt,
Sammy
no
Sosa.
doubt.
When they finally get their chance to sit there and put their thumb on the scale after how they feel like you might have mistreated them, oh, it's my turn to vote.
Yeah, it's payback. It's no doubt
They
payback.
use them votes as payback.
It's
They
payback.
do.
It's retaliation, big
Yeah,
time.
they're not just sitting there looking at the numbers. If looking at the numbers was all that they would look at, there would have been plenty of people that would have got inducted way before they eventually did.
Yeah, but yeah, you want me to cry rivers for Belichick or Kraft?
You got no
You can wait.
tears.
You can wait on it.
In the
I
words of the
don't care
weekend,
if they get in 7 years from now. I could care less, man.
in the words of the weekend, save your tears for another day.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man, we're about to get up out of here. But hey, I see that you were at Amos's. How did that go?
Full house at Amos's. Then turned around and did the same thing at Charleston, South Carolina, a night later. So you might hear a little bit of crackliness in my voice because my voice is absolutely gone at this point. I am not a person that's young and can tour like I used to. I could do it here and there, but I ain't trying to do it every night. So, but yeah,
Okay. Okay.
6 shows.
What's the secret to getting the voice back? T, what do you do? Just
Rest,
rest it? What?
rest.
Just
Yeah,
straight
yeah,
rest?
yep.
Okay. All right.
But yeah,
Well,
outstanding shows.
if y'all want to catch out, y'all want to catch up with Kendrick Colt, make sure you go to Instagram, pull up Kendrick Colt, and check on when and where they will be performing in your area. If they ain't performing in your area, bring your ass to come see them.
I like that. Appreciate it much, dog. Before I get out of here, I have to give a happy anniversary shout out to you and your lovely wife.
Oh yeah, I forgot about
Yes,
that.
you might not want to forget about that.
I know. I was driving up from Atlanta early this morning. I saw the post on Facebook. I've been in Atlanta acting all weekend.
Yeah.
I saw the post. I was like, "Is that today?"
Bro, I have to send you this I have to send you this Country Wayne skit, right? Because
Mhm.
Country Wayne, he films down in Atlanta, Georgia. And I saw this skit this morning and I thought I saw you in one of those skits. And I was like, I know Brian ain't filming for Country Wayne. No way. And the
Oh,
dude was playing a cop too. So I was like,
that's
yeah, I'll
me.
have to send
I
it
was,
to you
I was
because
in
he was
town.
like bent down and leaned over looking at evidence. And it looked just like
Oh
you,
my
man.
goodness.
Yeah.
Oh,
I was like,
see,
oh
see,
my God, is that B? That's the filming he said he was doing in Atlanta?
from
No
your mouth to
way.
God's ears. Let's get it done. Hey, I'm up for it. I'm up
Yeah.
for it. I'll be back down there sometime soon. I think we're gonna go there and then go to LA and do some stuff too. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah, appreciate that.
You should send
Yeah.
some of your work to Country Wayne, dude. You know who Country Wayne is?
Oh yeah.
You should send some of your work to him, just being honest. Because
Okay. Yeah.
pick you up, put you in a few skits, and you never know where that could lead to.
Yeah,
So
they definitely go viral for sure.
they do, yeah.
And then before you know it, people will be like, "Oh, I recognize that person. They always in those skits with Country Wayne and this and this and this." And I'm like, "Yeah, yeah." I've seen some people from New York blow up that way too. Because
Yep.
I'll be looking at them like Lulu Gonzalez or somebody like that. That always pops up in a lot of his skits now. She the New Yorker, always wearing the Timbs, and so she's a comedian, but she also ends up in a lot of his skits and stuff. But
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, pretty good stuff. Moran, it was a pleasure running season 6 again, sir.
Thank you much.
We're gonna have to do it again, season 7, yes.
Definitely. Be
All
back.
right. All right. So yeah, everybody. So we will get with y'all. We normally try to do the first 4 weeks leading up to the regular season. So we'll somewhere probably after the Hall of Fame game. We'll see how we'll do it, but we'll start reviewing the different divisions and everything leading up to the regular season. So y'all stay tuned for that. We thank y'all for tuning in. Like I said, whether you watch us on the live or you watch us on the replay, we could not do the show without you. So we definitely appreciate y'all for tuning in for another season. Look forward to seeing y'all again next season. But until then, y'all, we are out. Ryan Parker, Randall Hargrove. Peace, y'all. Y'all be good.
See you 7.